Hi, and welcome to session 4, Making a Rational Response. In this session, I'm going to take the information that we learned in challenging our thoughts, and with our automatic thought being, I'm going to embarrass myself, and putting that together into a either slogan or statement, something that's helpful and believable that will then give us ammo or a tool to be able to enter a situation that makes us socially anxious. In developing a rational response, the point is to come up with something that's more helpful and believable. So what we'll do is we'll take the key points that we learned from disputing our automatic thought and summarize that into a short statement or slogan that is helpful and more believable. So if we go back and look at what we learned from session 3, what we learned is that, I don't think I'm actually going to embarrass myself. I don't know that for a fact. And we also found out that it's actually a low probability event. The likelihood of it's happening is pretty low. And we also learned that, regardless of even if that's going to happen, I'm still willing to do it, and I'm willing to risk embarrassment because it's important to me, because I want to be more independent. So in summarizing and knowing all those pieces, what we can do is we can come up with several very good ideas or possibilities for a rational response. One could simply be, most likely, I won't embarrass myself. And how we keep track, and this is highly individualized, mind you, how we keep track of if it's, a keeper or one that we want to use is we basically ask ourselves can we rate this believability on this, okay? And very rarely, if ever, is it 100%, okay? If we can get above 50 or maybe in the 60s to 80s, great, but it's at least has to have something there that's going to be something we can hang on to when we're going into and getting ourselves in these situations. So let's say most likely I won't embarrass myself. We'll give that an 80%, okay? Because it's pretty hard to refute that. That's pretty much facts-based there, right? Another one is like a slogan that we can kind of tell ourselves. So just because I feel embarrassed does not equal actual embarrassment, kind of on that we are not our thoughts or we are not our feelings kind of mindset. Well, let's say we give that a 70%. And then the next one, all I have to do is just enter the store. This is a common rational response that people use when they look at, well, what's a behavioral goal I can accomplish? And if I just enter the store, the likelihood that I'm going to continue on and do what I went there to do, I think, is exponentially higher than if I'm talking about, well, I probably won't embarrass myself. So sometimes that can be a superior way of getting for a person to motivate themselves and to get themselves into actually being in that situation. So just focusing on, hey, all I have to do is enter that store. And then the last one, going to the store is moving me towards independence. So if we know specific things about ourselves, in this case, I've outlined that I want to be more independent, okay? And we're doing something that moves us towards that can be very motivating and can very much more likely get us to engage and put ourselves in that position. And let's say we give ourselves 80% for that one, and 80% for the all I have to do is enter the store. Now, as you can see, all of these are 80s, or in one case 70. This is really just arbitrary numbers, obviously. It's really up to the person in terms of how meaningful and what it says to the person. But all of these will work, and what I would stress is just pick one. One is just going to be plenty, because all you need to know is remember that, and then when you're going to do that, take that with you. It's kind of like, hey, this is my ace in the hole. This is what I'm going to hang on to and remind myself consistently as I'm getting ready to go do it, and as I'm doing it and getting myself to go there, that, hey, most likely this isn't going to happen. It's a low probability event. Or all I have to do is get myself to go into the store. And that can be really helpful with accomplishing exposure-like tasks or exercises. So as you can see, there's lots of possibilities here. In session 5, I'm going to cover another common automatic thought and social anxiety. We're going to challenge it and come up with a rational response.